Okay, I'm pushing record and we are going to jump back on our Facebook Live as
I
well.
had to fill this sink up with water to boil the dishes or to do the dishes. I don't know if you want to check that, Breaker. But I did it twice, like 4 times today, and it didn't do anything.
Okay. Oh, you're doing so good, Josie. I'm
Very, so good.
oh my gosh. I'm like over here just, and see, it gave us a new link this time too.
Yes,
Yeah.
it did. New numbers, everything.
I gotta figure, I really gotta figure this out.
And no passcode. So I feel like maybe you're using your old account.
Yeah. Okay, so we are back. We are back and we are back on Facebook. So sorry about that. This is like the amazing thing of technology and trying to figure out settings, really, is what it comes down to. Okay, Josie, please continue your story. I apologize that we got.
That's okay. So my thing is learning the ebbs and flows of network marketing and personal growth. I had a team of 22. I lost pretty much. I have 4 or 5 people ordering religiously. I'm thankful I have one business builder who keeps on growing, and she's on the call. Her name is Elizabeth, and she's a mama, Sutton. And she's just amazing. She has a wealth of knowledge. So having someone who does the research, the diffuser blend, she's consistent on Facebook. And what YL has it's turned my parents who were skeptics into believers. They use Cool Azul. They are starting supplements. So that is like where I am at with that. I also like wanted to use this platform as an Indigenous person to offer our people many different alternatives than to just like Western medicine, and to let people know that there is a high rate of diabetes, stroke, heart disease within Indigenous communities, but there are a ton of Indigenous communities in Canada that don't have access to healthcare. So having this and reaching out to those communities is going to be super beneficial. There are many communities in Canada. Am I frozen? Are you guys frozen? Okay, good. So there are a lot of communities that don't even have clean drinking water, that have never. So having something like this will be a game changer for those communities. My favorite part of the business is the community and culture that you get with this. So you don't sign up and just get a kit and okay, use your products. You get a whole community and culture. And so by having all of these amazing leaders, I've been a part of other network marketing companies. I've never felt so comfortable around strangers. Well, not strangers, because we've Zoomed through this whole pandemic, but I went to our Diamond Leaders event. I felt so comfortable. Like it was such an amazing feeling to actually be around people that you've Zoomed with. Our Royal Crown Diamond was like, oh, hey, Josie. And I'm like, Melanie, she knows like who I am. So having that as your upline, as your friends is super amazing. The money, when I was consistent in enrolling, I was making good money. And I will continue to be consistent, keep doing all the things. There's so much fun. We had a YL New Year's Eve pre-party, and that was so much fun. Like we can't gather at the moment, but we do Zoom calls, we chat with each other. And you also learn with this community that money in the hands of good people is a good thing. We learn how to respect money, We learn how to be able to earn that money. And we also learn from our leaders how to hit those ranks in less time that they did. So for me, that's really amazing to be able to have people to show us, okay, I hit this rank and this is how I did it. I can help you. We have people that are knowledgeable of our supplements, about hormones, about pregnancy and oils, about yoga and diffusing. We have label readers. We have people that are into like the sciencey part. So being able to have that where someone asks me, oh, I need to know about hormones, then I can message this person, or our cross team lab that we have is super amazing that we can just message any other leader if we need questions. The training that we also get with YL and within our upline is amazing. No other network marketing company has that. So I am, after GoPro, I have written down my goals. I'm rereading my notes and I'm staying consistent with my 2 times a week classes. My goal for this year is to hit diamond. So I'm going to keep staying consistent so I can be financially free and have an abundance of health and happiness and good friends. And that is it. Thank you everyone for listening.
Oh my gosh, Josie, thank you so much for sharing. That just like pulls on every heartstring that I have. Her story is so near and dear to my heart. And this is why you do the things that scare you. Because like she said, I just showed up at her house with a kit. And she lived an hour away from me, and I seriously wanted to throw up the whole way because I was freaking out. And because she wasn't like answering my messages, and I'm like, I'm on my way, and there was like nothing. And then I'm like, okay, like, what's your address? Like, give me some directions. And I was just driving and driving. I knew the general area. I'm like, do I just go knock on the door? Like, okay, hello. Like, does a Josie live here by any chance? And I'm like, oh my gosh. And I was probably about 15 minutes away from where she lived, and she gave me her address. And I'm like, okay, now I just got to get through the door. I was so scared. So Josie has been my first person in my business journey since consciously doing the business. She has been my first person that it was out of my comfort zone. It scared the crap out of me, and I learned that I had to do it anyway. Am I glad that I did? Absolutely 100%, for all the reasons that you just heard from that amazing woman and how she is changing her life. She is breaking cycles. Her children are going to have like a whole different way of life, and it's because of her. It is because of the strength that woman has. And all I did was show her an opportunity, and she took it, and she's doing the work, and she is doing what she needs to provide that. And so do the things that scare you, because you never know who is going to need to hear what you have to say or need the opportunity of what you have to offer. So feel the fear and do it anyways. That is what you have to do. Okay, so next we are going to hear from Candice. And Candice is amazing, and she is showing up at all the things, and she is being coachable, and we just love her so much because she just shows us how to just keep going all the time, how to just keep going and putting one foot in front of the other. And talk about getting out of your comfort zone. This girl does it all the time. So, all right, Candice,
Hi,
how are you?
I'm okay.
Good. Okay. Do you want to just tell us a little bit about yourself and how long you've been with us?
I'm Candice from Cornell. I'm a mother of 5. I have 1 child at home. All the other ones have grown. and she is now Mel's dance coach. I've been with Young Living since the end of June. And I really just jumped on board to just get the kit to start getting things to feel better. I didn't think I would want to do any of the business side of things or anything like that. And then it was a few months later, I would say, I decided I wanted to know more about the business, and I wanted to know more about this amazing community that was out there and all the things that they were doing. So, oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say yes. It is so cool that you joined with us, and we thought it was really important to hear what Candice has to say.
Hello.
Because, hi, sweetie. Because Candice is right where everybody starts. She is right where every Royal Crown Diamond has started, where every diamond has started, where every star has started. And if you're like, what the heck, you guys all want to be like twinkly things? Yeah, we do. Those are actually names of our ranks. So our Royal Crown Diamond is the top one. But Candice is right there. She is taking the first step that each and every one of us has taken. And so we thought it was super important to hear from her, because we need to hear from the people and what it feels like when you're taking that very first step. And so I just am so appreciative, Candice, that you are on here with us and sharing. Is it scary?
Yeah. For me, talking about myself or anything like that is scary, but it's the only way I can do the things that I want to do, and that's to help more people out there. And I'm sure there's people sitting at home right now doing the same things as I'm doing, and looking for that opportunity to help somebody would gives me great gratitude, because I do that in my job working with seniors, but um, it's it's a different thing, right? And for me, I've always been in health and wellness. Fitness used to be a big part of my life, and nutrition and those kind of things. So when this was brought to my attention, and I know, Mel, you came and sat at my kitchen table and you said, these will help you. And I looked at you and went, really? I'm like, I don't even know you. I just met you. You're gonna tell me these work? Okay, sure, lady. And I mean, now I look at, like, even it's almost been a year since you sat at my table, and I think like where we have come together in a year is like amazing. To think that you were just sitting at my table and I was like, yeah, okay, lady, here. But I mean, I don't know. I've been in those places where I've laid in bed and not wanted to get out of bed, and you were that one person that kept pulling me up. So I can't thank you enough for that, because that's why what was my big draw to this business was the community and the extended family that you develop, because you have your family and that's the ones that you keep close, but you also have people that you can reach out to and go, I just need a little help here, like I need some guidance and some direction. And yeah, you've just been that person for me. So that's and the whole community, like a lot of people on this call too that have just reached out and answered my questions in the middle of the night, or things that I needed to know how to do, because I just didn't know what I was doing yet. And I still don't, because I learn every day, and it's so exciting to learn that process. So yeah, I look forward to doing and learning more, and I usually dive right into those kind of things. And sometimes I turn into being the product of the product, which is not always the bad thing either, but I like the learning steps of the business side of it because I've never had that opportunity to put myself out there and be, you know, somebody that'll expose myself with those things and say, hey, you know what, I can do this, and like not have so much fear because I have all this lovely people around me going, yeah, we got your back. We're gonna let you fall. We're not gonna, you know, so yeah, it's been great that way for me. And being a mother and, you know, working a full-time job and trying to incorporate this business has had its ups and downs for me for sure. But I just keep taking that day by day. I jump on these calls. I, you know, have my one-on-one chats with other teammates and just absorb all the stuff that I can get from everybody and take little snippets here and there. And then when I go, hey, wait a minute, what's this mean? Then I go back and go, hey, remember this? We had this discussion and I don't know what you were talking about.
Yeah. That is
so jumping over those hurdles of knowing that this is the direction that I want to go in life, because I don't want to get up and work the 9 to 5 job, and I don't want to go back to working 3 jobs and working from 5:30 in the morning till 11 o'clock at night. I want to be able to see my daughter grow up and do the things with her. So, and now she's my coach. So.
Oh, and that's what life is all about, right? Is like reaching down and helping the other person up. And I would never have been able to do this. I would never have been able to help Candice or to help Josie or anybody else if it hadn't have been for those above me reaching down to help me when I couldn't get up, when I stopped believing in myself, when I didn't know, right? Like Dora was there. She physically came to my house as well. Everybody's like, oh gosh, these ladies going to show up at my door. It's all good. We have like COVID restrictions, so you're safe. But like with Candice, like everything that you said is like so amazing. And that's where we all start, right? Like we're like, just get this thing, right? You looked at me like, you're crazy, lady. What are you even talking about? And then you started using the products and taking the steps and seeing the community. When we are working a 9 to 5 job or whatever, a 12-hour a day job, we're exhausted, we're tired, we don't see outside the box. When we are like squashed down with all the stress of like our bills and everything that we have to pay and look after, we do not have the time or energy to think outside of the box. And that's why, you know, Candice, taking these little steps is like, oh my gosh, you are starting on a journey that is a whole different world, right? Like there's these little things that, what do you mean there's an option to working 9 to 5? Are you kidding me? Like who knew? I didn't know. I had no clue. Now I'm like, woo, let's do that. And you know, who's coming with me? Like I am bringing y'all, let's go, because it's so much freedom. And you know, like I see everybody who has more energy and they are healthier and their families are healthier and community. And yeah, we support each other all the time. Pretty sure that everybody here, maybe not Jerry's pretty new there, but the rest of us, we've seen each other have a good cry. We've seen each other be like, oh my gosh, did that crap really come out of my mouth? Like, somebody.
I cried this morning.
Yes, you did on our call. And they're healing tears, right? Like, and we're moving through things. And with this business, it is the biggest personal growth opportunity that you will ever find, as well as an income opportunity. It's amazing because your business only grows as much as you do. So that means if you don't grow, neither does your business. And we all want our business to grow. So we go through the uncomfortable things. Candice is in the trenches right now, and she is like learning a new path and everything else. And Candice, I appreciate you 100% for being brave and sharing and doing the things and showing up even when it's hard. And you know, it is. It's sometimes hard. It is dang hard sometimes. It's new. We get tired and we don't want to show up, and you're there. Candice shows up in the morning on our business calls while she's driving to work. All the time. Every time we have them, there she is. 100%. It's how you learn. You know, we were all part of a training conference one weekend, and she had her headphones in one ear and was working so that she could learn. And that's how you do it in the beginning. You fit it into the moments, into the tiny spaces where you can find it. You know, your 5-minute coffee break, your 2-minute wait in a lineup in the grocery store, whatever it is, you fit it. That's how it happens. And can you grow a business like that? 100% you can grow a business like that, because the business model is simple, but it is hard to do because it takes you out of your comfort zone. We have some people who absolutely like it, this is their jam, talking with people, doing the things, that's fantastic. But the biggest thing is learning to believe in yourself. That's the biggest hurdle that we actually have to get over in this business, is believing in yourself. And once you got that, we're like, watch out, we're going to show up on your doorstep. No, we don't do that.
And I think you're right, Mel, because I know that's obviously one of my biggest things is believing in myself. I was pretty vulnerable this morning talking to y'all, so I shared a lot of my personal stuff and just showed you, like, you know, how your past reflects on, like, you know, how you don't, unless you break that pattern, right? And for me, that's always been the case. Is I'm the first one to admit it. I self-sabotage myself all the time. And I actually even tried to talk myself out of coming onto this call tonight. But then I was like, oh yeah, if I text Mel that, she's gonna be like, girl, you are coming on if I have to drive there and get you. So, I mean, for me, that's just my thing, right? Is to know that it's okay to be in those vulnerable situations and be okay with being real, because you don't have, like this morning, I think I was in my pajamas and that was just being real. And there was no, like, I didn't have to get up and do my hair and makeup and, you know, do the things to go to work essentially. And that to me felt more comfortable than when I get up and go to my 9-to-5 job, because I was able to just sit and chat. We talked business, we talked, you know, different things. And that to me was more enjoyable than getting up and, oh, I gotta do my hair and I gotta make sure I got my uniform and I gotta make sure I got these things and, you know, all the things. And when I can just sit there and be real and still be able to help people and impact people in a day, that feeds my soul. Whereas going to your 9-to-5 job, punching a time clock and going, okay, I'm here for 8 hours and, you know, what am I going to do to impact people? And I mean, I do in my job, but I don't get that satisfaction that I get where I get up in the morning and get to be myself and be my true self in a day where I don't have to answer to somebody else. The only person I'm answering to is myself. And if I'm okay with being in my pajamas and crying my eyes out to y'all, then
that's right.
And that's okay, right? Like, and that's what makes this business so attracting to me and why I keep coming back. Believe me, I've said numerous times, I'm out, I'm not doing this, I'm not doing that. This is like too much. And even like, you know, doing our when we had our weekend there, and I was listening in my ear and I'm bawling my face off and going, oh my goodness, like, how am I going to do this? Like, these people are huge in this multi-level marketing business. And I'm like, okay, but they all started somewhere in their pajamas.
That's right. That's right.
You know, and you know, like one of the speakers even said he has two. He has, I'm the boss and I'm this person, and he's
Yeah,
like,
the lazy one.
yeah, and sometimes I don't like the lazy one, and the boss comes out and says, you need to get off your butt and do the things.
Yeah.
So I think that's my motivator some mornings when, you know, I don't necessarily or even didn't want to even jump on this call and express myself. It was like, no, just do it, because who's it going to hurt? Nobody. It's probably going to help somebody more than anything, right? So just get on there and do it.
That's right. Just do it. Don't even think about it. Don't let the fear like overcome you. And like we said, right? Like it's growing, and it's how we get there. And you know, like how you were saying, Candice, it made me think about like when you're talking about the big speakers that are making all this big money in what we are doing. I almost like, I got this vision, right? Like of their footsteps. You know how they make like the footsteps in Hollywood? Is it the stars? Do they do? Anyways, we should do like footsteps of like a Royal Crown diamond, and then we can go and step in them, like their first footsteps, and then it'll be like our first footsteps, right? Like how powerful, just because they have the belief, they got there, right? Like they did the growth that they needed to, and to stand there and think, oh my gosh, this is who I am. This is really who I am, without all of my negative thoughts and things like that. But this is who I am, and this is who I can be, and this is who I am going to be. And I'm like so stoked. I am so stoked because this is amazing. And I just want to say thank you, ladies, for sharing your stories and your journeys. It has been so good. I'm just going to wrap up the part on Facebook here so we can get off Facebook live streaming. Yeah, so
Can I just say one more thing?
Absolutely.
Just one quick thing. We got some word of advice from my 10-year-old last night that messing up is just messing up.
Yeah.
And you just keep going. So I think those moments that we, you know, nobody shows up to our classes, or that we lose members, or things might not go our way, it's just messing up. And guess what? We just keep going. So I think that's like a good thing to live by, because I mean, when she said that last night, that hit my heart. I mean, being that I'm her mother, but even still, we're just messing up, and we can just keep going, because, you know.
Yes. And that, right. And I liked what she said right before that too. She said, I know I'm going to mess up. I know I am. And when I mess up, I just mess up and I keep going. And I'm like, what? Like 10-year-old wisdom, man. Like kids, I have got to say, I am grateful that she reached out to be my dance coach. And that's like a whole nother Facebook Live if you want to know what the heck I'm doing. But so grateful that this 10-year-old is supporting me through that. And her wisdom is just mind-blowing. So.
I also want to add, Melanie will Zoom with you anytime. My builder, Elizabeth, I hope she shows her beautiful face. I have been planting the seeds, and then Mel's like, let's get her on a Zoom. And then she kind of dodged us a couple times, and then we sent her the Zoom link, and she's like, fine. But I think like we're all here because we all want that financial freedom, and we all have been where each other have been before. So Elizabeth's going to show us her pretty face. And I think it's so cool. Jerry's on here too. We need more males in our group.
Okay. I want to do a picture before we go. Oh my gosh. Yes, there's Elizabeth.
There's Elizabeth.
What was it, like 9 o'clock at night or something? 9:30 or
like
something?
11.
Was it 11 when we were Zooming with you?
I just put Sutton to bed. I think it was 9, and Josie's like, "Oh, let's do a Zoom," and she was already bugging me a lot, and I'm like, "You know what? I'll just get on Zoom with these people and get it over with." And I'm like, I'll do it. And then within like a week or 2, I ended up earning back all that money from the kit. I signed up like 3 people in 2 weeks because I worked my butt off. So
I know. So grateful for that. And that's the things. And like, yeah, we jumped on late, like I'm serious. If I worked a 9-to-5 job and my boss called me and said, "Hey, can you call this person at 11 o'clock at night?" I'd be like, "No, what are you talking about?" And then Josie's like, "Let's do this." And I'm like, "Let's do this." Because when you're doing the things that like fill your cup and that this is your purpose of helping people, you're like, "What time is it?" Like, I'm going to crawl out of bed and I'm going to throw on a sweater so it looks like I'm dressed. Like, let's do the Zoom. Let's do the Zoom. Let's do some jumping jacks. Let's clap our hands. Let's do what we need to get on there. And it was so good. And look, like how many lives you're changing and touching, and health, right? Like health it's what we've got and we have control over that. And we have these so many things, health, wealth, ways of helping to support people. And now there is Elizabeth, and she's got the most beautiful, cutest son ever. And he's going to be like growing up in such a healthy environment because his mama made some epic choices, right? Like, it's just amazing. And
He enrolled a mom who just had her daughter who was not born in a toxic soup.
right. Yes. Yeah. Yes. So amazing. So amazing. Oh my goodness. So proud of each and every one of you here. And I just want to say thank you so much for being brave and courageous and sharing your story and helping others and reaching out and being able to just change the world one person at a time, because that's how we do it, right? Okay, I'm saying goodbye to good night to Facebook. Okay, there, we are off of Facebook. So that was amazing. I don't know what is going on with my Zoom. I'm